You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New Jersey After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real Housewives of New Jersey After Show.
I wish I knew the words, but I don't.
Is this a Jersey song?
No, well, we just decided to play it.
Beastie Boys for Brooklyn.
For Brooklyn.
Oh.
All
No,
right.
for Brooklyn.
Hello, everybody. Yay! So we are so excited to be back. This is another AfterBuzz season of The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yes.
We are entering season 5, and we're so excited to be back. This is, I think, one of my favorite Housewives franchises of the bunch. And we got some new faces around the table.
New face.
New face.
New
Oh,
face.
sorry, new face. And FYI, we were playing No Sleep Till Brooklyn from the Beastie Boys because Susan has her Poochie Brooklyn here in the studio, so that's why.
This is Brooklyn.
But let's go around the table. We have a new face, and we don't have an old one, but she might be back from time to time.
We miss you, Giselle.
We miss you, Giselle, Panda.
And Adrian.
And Adrian, yeah. But we've got a new face. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am so excited, you guys, to be here. I'm Erika Garcia Rojas, and I am such a huge, ginormously huge Real Housewives of New Jersey fan.
Yes.
Like, beyond. So I am pumped.
Good.
I have a lot I'm going to want to talk about, so
We're happy to have you here.
thank you for having me.
Hey guys, it's Susan Hahn. I'm so happy to be back. I missed you guys so much.
I know. I can't believe how much time has passed.
Yeah.
And I'm Diona Vaughan, and let's just start digging in. Oh, we want to remind you guys to make sure you download us for free, F-R-E-E, on iTunes. And make sure you check us out on YouTube as well. And we want to hear your comments. We love your comments. Last season, it got a little, you know,
But that's what we love, you know?
we
Good,
love
better, and
comments.
different.
We love whether, you know, no matter what you have to say.
Or there,
Well, you know what? We've got a lot of passionate fans about this show.
This is a passionate show.
Yeah, sometimes they didn't like what we had to say. Sometimes we didn't like what they had
Yeah.
to say. But you know what? That's what makes the world go round, and we invite everybody's comments and suggestions. And
disagreements is what makes things interesting. That's why we
Exactly.
watch Housewives. I mean, for the
Exactly.
flipping
Yes,
tables.
I
and
know.
for
Exactly. We were ready to
twirling
flip
hair.
some tables over here, let me tell you.
I know.
But so please keep that coming because this is the start of a new season. So we want to make sure your voice is heard. So let's jump in. Garden State of Emergency. That's the first episode of this new season. And of course, you know, the first, you know, what we see in the very beginning are the huge effects that Hurricane Sandy had on the Housewives. And I think out of all the Housewives franchises, this is a huge storm, and it affected New Jersey, obviously, the worst, because a lot of them had, well, they live in New Jersey, obviously, and a lot of them had homes on the Jersey Shore. Do you think that was a good way to start off the season, kind of like on a sad, reflective note? Like, what do you think?
Absolutely, because this is the Real House of New Jersey, and I mean, the Jersey Shore got demolished, and we're starting off, and we see the human side of these ladies again, and you know, it's like, big deal, our house got flooded. There's people that lost their homes completely, so I like the fact that they brought it back to reality, and they brought it back to why we love seeing these women on TV, because they brought it back to just, you know, simple humanity.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was interesting because when I was watching it, they would be extremely irresponsible to not mention this hurricane.
I agree.
And in some ways, I felt that them putting it here at the beginning, just right at the beginning, it's like to me, it read as, we need to address this. We need to talk about it. Let's just get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it.
So you kind of felt like they were obligated?
Exactly.
Okay.
And in some ways, and by putting it in there wherever it was actually maybe chronologically actually happened would mess up their editing and their storyline. But they had to mention it. So it looked like they did it. They did it quick.
Yeah.
And for such devastation and for such just the horrific thing that happened with that hurricane, it just seemed very quick to me. And especially since Teresa, it looked like one of her homes got destroyed. I mean, that's pretty intense. And if they don't mention this at all for the rest of the season, then it looks like to me they just had to say it to mention it.
True.
To get it over
I
with.
also think there was a part of me that felt like, you know, talking about the storm and how it affected some of their second homes. Let's, you know, keep that in mind. Yeah, let's clarify their second homes, not their first. I think maybe in a way they were trying to show a softer side, especially, you know, as it relates to Teresa, you know, because she got beat up a lot last season, and, you know, just her and her husband have been in the tabloids. So I think it maybe brought a softer element, you know.
I have to interject here. I think that it brought a softer element to the group as a whole, but to Teresa, no, because Teresa makes a comment about Hurricane Sandy brought a lot of opportunities.
I agree.
Like,
totally
what
agree
the
with you.
hell was that about?
I'm so glad you just brought that up. I made a little note here, stupid Teresa comments. We know that Teresa is notorious for saying words that don't make sense. She mispronounces things. She's notorious for that.
She would have drowned it.
Yeah, drowned it. And episode 1, she does not disappoint, and you just brought it up. She just said, Hurricane Sandy brought lots of opportunity to the community. I.e., she meant, you know, her husband has some construction work because of the storm. I thought that was so distasteful, and
it was just insensitive. Because I mean, you know what? It is a fact. It is a fact. It probably brought some business to those in the construction industry. The construction industry has been down because of the economy.
But that's the last thing you think about when you think about Hurricane Sandy.
But exactly, it's so insensitive and it's so self-absorbed, which is exactly what Teresa is.
Exactly.
So it's just no surprise to me. And like one quick thing while we're at talking about the Hurricane Sandy, for any of you guys listening that, and I don't know if you guys are fans, but of Mob Wives, I did the after show here for Mob Wives, and obviously that was addressed, and it was almost an entire episode where they talked about it, and it was like the difference between how it was handled here and how it's handled in Mob Wives.
Let me ask you something though.
It was just.
Do you think it affected the cast?
The Mob Wives, that show was still going on when Hurricane Sandy happened. For us to maybe for them to make a whole episode dedicated to Hurricane Sandy a year later would kind of be, I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but would we want to see as viewers waiting for the Housewives of New Jersey? Like, we've already dealt with Sandy, we've dealt with the media, we've dealt with the reality of what happened with Hurricane Sandy. Would we as Housewife Jersey fans want to see a full episode dedicated to Hurricane Sandy?
No, I wouldn't. But that's a really good point, and I didn't think about that. Like, actually, that this was, I didn't know chronologically when this is filmed and when Hurricane Sandy was. So that's a good point. And it could be after the fact. I don't know. Did it not happen while they were filming? Because I kind of thought it was.
I believe the season had already wrapped, and like we'd already seen the reunion show, and then it happened afterwards.
It happened right after, so it wasn't happening while they were filming.
It definitely didn't happen during the reunion because we would have heard about it.
I'm talking about right now when they're filming season 5.
No, I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
We'll have to check on that.
Because if it happened while they were filming season 5, then that, you know, then it happened then. So if it didn't, then I agree with you. Then it's like it's kind of going backwards.
Yeah.
But I guess just in the world of reality and the world reality shows and the world of like being directly affected by a huge event, you know, the Mob Wives, the way they handled it, you really, really saw the devastation and the effects of it, and really for the women, how much they gave back. Like, they looked at how they really, like, they raised money, they raised
But that's also could be production. That can also be, like, how, depends on which network, you know, that they're with. But, I mean, I'm glad that they did touch on Sandy a little bit.
Yeah, well, and I agree with Erika, yes.
And I totally agree with you, too. Yes, it could have been a lot longer. It could have really, they could have definitely gone a lot deeper.
Right.
But, I mean, Hurricane Sandy is what it was. It was all over the media. If you didn't hear about Sandy, then you were
living under a rock.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, moving on. So I think this is what we've all been waiting for. Brother versus sister, Teresa and Joe Gorga. It's been, what, a year. Well, real time, it's been a year and a half. It's been a year and a half based off of, you know, the commentary that we've heard just from the show. And they're still not talking to each other.
So this is my this is my question. I don't remember. It hasn't been a year and a half since we saw the last season.
Well, I guess you have to keep in mind too, even though we saw the last season, you have to take into consideration when it was filmed too. So that's the time.
But when this was filmed, also, that's why I'm saying, like, it just seems like it was not a year and a half from the time from season to season when it was filmed. That's
I think when it like in TV talk versus what we see, I think it makes sense. You know, a year and a half, but.
Regardless,
these two still aren't speaking, and I think what's the saddest part about it is that you've got these kids, you know, because recall from the reunion special how Melissa said they're moving, you know, and they're moving because she didn't want their kids to be by each other, which,
going
you know,
to the same school.
Going to the same school. Now, we can all talk about, like, what the reality of that comment was, because is it truly financial, or, you know what I mean? But how sad is that? What did you guys think about that?
I mean, it breaks my heart to see, you know, Melania and Antonia, that they're cousins. They're at the same age. They love each other. Growing up, your first friends are your cousins or your brothers or your sisters, and it's just like they're torn apart. And, you know, Melissa and Teresa, they bring up a good point. These girls are not dumb. Like, they know what's going on, and it's just it's horrible. And could they just grow the fuck up and just please, like, get it together for the sake of their kids? I mean, is that too much? Because both parties are like the kids, but when it comes down to, well, actually, when it did come down to it, they did allow that play date, but it's like.
But it's been a year and a half, and you know, they allowed the play date on camera. Like, if it really was a year and a half since think how long that is, and for kids,
that's
and in that
eternity.
letter, she asked her, "What grade are you in?" "Oh, I do cheer." Like. They should know this. They're cousins. They should know it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a long time, and yeah, like you said, like, grow up. I mean, put this behind you, and they're all talk, both sides. Teresa and God, how am I forgetting?
Melissa
are both saying, "Oh, you know, we've got it's for the kids, and it breaks my heart with the kids, and da 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 da."
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, both women are so stubborn, and they're just.
Well, what I
we
think
could go on about that.
What I think is so interesting is that the kids, and we can even recall from last season, the kids are making more sense than the adults. Because little Antonia said, she goes, "You want me to mail a letter to Melania when we live right next door?" And she's right. And then even like Gia, answering the text for, you know, her mom, just like, it's like, wake up, people. Like, your kids are seeing through this. They want to see each other. It's like, bury the hatchet and move on.
And Teresa's kids are smart.
They're very smart.
I mean,
Gia on Twitter found out about her cousin's birthday party via Twitter. It's like, my goodness, she's 11 going on 25.
40.
She's a smart little cookie.
Okay, I have a question for you guys. Do you think, because of the age of these kids, they're not old at all? Like, Gia's the eldest of the group.
11.
She's 11. Do you think that, like, Teresa, and I'll even throw Melissa in there, do you think, like, she needs to have a better handle on what her kids are exposed to as it relates to, like, you know, tabloids and Twitter and social media? Because she's 11. What is she doing on Twitter? Why is an 11-year-old on Twitter?
To be honest, I mean, I don't think that unless you completely, like, have no electrical whatever, like computer, cell phone, or anything in the house, kids are gonna have access to it. There's computers at school, you know, Twitter, like, whether you have your own laptop or your own cell phone, you can log on to a computer and you can create a Twitter account, Facebook account.
I get it, but
Instagram account.
But an 11-year-old,
I think
like
11 for us, while we were growing up, is complete different as 11-year-olds now.
That's true.
I mean, like, a lot of my friends have kids, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, can they teach me some, like, fucking computer things? Because it's like, what the hell are they doing on there? You know, every single one of them own an iPad, and it's their iPad. It's not their mommy or daddy's. It's their own iPad. I'm like, hello?
I feel like she's just so young, and obviously they've been exposed to so much just from being on the show and growing up on TV. You know, it's been 5 seasons, you know? She's 11.
And to your point, Diona, I think it's not just like the technical side of things. I think it's in general, like growing up quickly, like you get the sense from Gia especially, and you know, I don't know if it has to be like being the oldest cousin, like in general. And she has been exposed not just to like a lot of family drama, but the world of being like a reality star. Like Gia herself is a reality star. Like
it's crazy.
She's one of like the favorites. And Andy Cohen, they had that little dance of hers on that after. I mean, she's a predominant character, and so she's grown up fast and in the limelight. So it's kind of all of it goes hand in hand, and I do think she's been exposed to a lot at a young age, and I hope for her and for Teresa's sake she doesn't grow up to be one of these monsters. Because they could go either way at this point.
I feel like kind of that's where it's headed, and I feel like
you think that she's gonna grow up to be a little monster.
She's halfway there.
Look at her. She called it. So Gia, Teresa. I mean, if I said that to my mother, I would be slapped aside the head. Like, well, not slapped, but it would not happen.
I know, and I feel like she's instigating things. So remember how she went into her dad to say, "Hey, guess what? You know,
her dad is such an asshole."
Yeah, but like it's like she knows she's starting to stir the pot on her own, and it's her parents'
Little manipulative.
fault. And I think it's also up to her parents to snatch her and be like, no, not appropriate. You don't talk about this. And,
but in fact, they.
Well, I mean, normal parents would do something like that.
Normal.
But here's Joe Giudice saying, "Oh, you're gonna go see Horsey Face."
Oh, that's awful.
I mean, he's just a hot mess.
Such a
what the hell is wrong with him?
Like a D bag squared to the multiple times a million. Like he is just douche McDouche.
He's such an asshole. But I love him. Is that
I don't love him. Like there's some assholes you see like, oh, but he's funny. No, there's nothing.
He's so
likable or redeeming.
He's just an asshole.
I feel like Gia is his new buddy to like make jokes with, you know, as it relates to the, you know, the cousins and the in-laws, and I think it's just setting a really, really nasty, you know, just tone for
I take that back. I used to love him. I don't like him anymore.
I don't like him at all.
He used to be funny.
He used to be.
With his little splits. But now...
Not anymore. Well, speaking of buddies, I have a good buddy to talk about. So you guys know Serial Buddies?
Yes. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't know about Serial Buddies? Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro. Their new movie venture. Well, it's actually available for free. Free. Who doesn't love free? It's available for a free download on iTunes. Free content, no commercials. See what we give you here at AfterBuzz? So we really, I know, we encourage you guys to download Serial Buddies for free. It's an awesome, funny film, and like I said, it's free.
Or how about rate us 5 stars and then you get it free?
Yes, I like that better. Thank you. Rate us 5 stars first, and then download Serial Buddies for free.
And thank us.
And come back and let us know what you thought.
It's actually thanking them. It's, you know, without them, we wouldn't even be here, you guys.
So
love us or hate us, we wouldn't be here without Kevin and Maria.
Totally. And so we're so excited. We're excited for the movie. We're excited to promote it. And we're actually really excited that it's available for free. Like, how many things do you actually get off of, you know, iTunes for free? Especially
guys, it's not free. Guys, we give you guys so much free content here at AfterBuzz, and one way you can support us is by going to iTunes and downloading Serial Buddies. It's cheap as free, though. I mean, it's only $6 for a movie that we put so much time into.
It's
Diona,
almost free.
No worries, though.
Sorry.
It's Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro. It's their brainchild. We've worked on it for so much. You'll see so many familiar AfterBuzzers, John Comerford, Tamara Berg in it. It's just, we provide so much content. We work here every day, all day, pretty much, 7 days a week, to get these shows running on time, to get everything out, to get new shows. And we really don't like running commercials. We don't annoying you with all that crap. We like to get the content out to the fans, and you are the fans. And one way you can support us is just by going to iTunes and helping us out. By downloading Serial Buddies for $5.99.
$5.99.
You know,
to buy it in HD.
That's HD. That's hello.
Exactly. And once you download it, you can watch it a million times.
You know
it's
what?
yours.
$5.99, $59.99, whatever. It's AfterBuzz. It's, you know, it's Serial Buddies. It's the same thing.
It's a little bit more than a
You're hoping to support AfterBuzz TV. Thank you so much for the correction, Mr. Lemieux. Thank you. And now we will be moving on because I just have foot and mouth disease. Okay. So let's catch up with Kathy and the Wakilis.
Can we talk a little bit about, because I didn't know it's on here, Jacqueline and her son.
Okay, yeah,
finding
we're
out
gonna get to
about
that.
Alzheimer's. Was this the first time?
Alzheimer's, honey. No. He has.
Okay, that's not even funny.
It's not.
He doesn't have Alzheimer's. He has autism.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
It was actually another
Wrong age group. Anyway,
Well,
moving
you know what?
on.
Let's take a moment real quick. Let's just breathe.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
Namaste. All right, let's do
Release.
it.
Okay, now.
Okay. The
Autism.
autism.
Yes.
This was something that is new that we actually found out that he was autistic. In the past season, well correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like they were trying to determine
the
it.
end of last season
Yeah.
is when she
revealed it.
She revealed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of rumors running around in the tabloids,
Yes.
but she actually revealed it last
the end of
season.
last
And then
season.
during the reunion special, she also spoke
right.
about it. And,
That's
you know, was real emotional, obviously, about it.
That's
but
right.
it was nice to see. It sounds like, you know, he's doing better, you know, he's improving, you know, because she even mentioned when she spent so much time with him, you know, during Hurricane Sandy, that, like, he seemed to, like, have turned a corner. So it was nice to see that.
It'll be interesting to see how that develops throughout the season because I get the sense that that's going to be a strong storyline for Jacqueline.
I hope.
of
I mean, I
course.
hope so.
No, I mean,
and I
I-
hope that with this platform, she's getting a lot of help because
Yeah.
That's such a
Yeah, and to have a
tough
bigger
thing.
voice for it. Yeah, absolutely. And do something good.
And hope and yeah.
One
But
person.
she absolutely didn't lose her sense of humor, Jacqueline. She was
No.
actually made some very validating points where she doesn't really care about the
very
Judice Gorga drama. I mean,
Well, yeah.
she cares about it as much as she cares about bleaching her asshole. So
Well, but it's like it's priorities. Like now
Yeah.
you have this son, this young child who has all these
Yeah.
needs, and it diminishes everything else.
Everything.
It brings
you know?
such a different perspective. Because
Yeah.
you're like, Diona, this is your entire family's health. Like the way when she probably looks at it, your children are all healthy. Like
Yeah.
that is beyond
Yeah.
like amazing. Just get along.
Yeah.
And she's dealing with such a hard thing and such you know, she has to be so strong. And she looks at it
it's
and
like the simple things that all the other
people take for
housewives
granted.
are taking
Yeah.
for granted. And she's dealing with this young child of hers that's battling. I mean,
and this is going to be a lifetime thing for her
Right.
and this child.
And not only has she had to deal with that, but she's got her older daughter Ashley's, you know, shenanigans that
Don't
she's always
even.
dealing with. And we didn't see Ashley this season, but we did see upcoming that she
preview.
will
Yeah.
be part of the season. So that'll be really interesting to see what she's been up to.
not.
But exactly. So let's catch up with the Wakilis. So we see Rosie. Now, I know Rosie was your favorite. Susan loved her some Rosie. Erika, yes.
I liked her. She was fun. She's a great addition to the show for sure.
Very good addition, but I feel like she got a makeover. Like her
Yes.
hair was done and she had makeup on and accessories. Like, do you think that like now that, because this is now her second season on the show, do you think that maybe she like stepped back and saw herself, you know, during the season on camera? I was like, whoa, I need to like step it up.
no,
Or
I
what do you
I
think?
don't think that that had anything to do. I think she's
Really?
a confident woman, whether she was, you know, whether she's now like a lipstick lesbian, more glammed up. But
Yeah.
I think she's so confident in who she is. It was just more like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure.
And I'm not saying she's not confident,
right?
but,
I'm
you
sure
know.
Bravo is like, why not? You know, why don't you get, you know, pampered a little bit? And she's
Yeah.
probably like, okay.
Well, I think for anybody who's on a reality show, I mean, I think it happens to anybody. It's natural. You look at yourself, you're like, I could do a few tweaks here
Oh,
and
and
there.
speaking of that, Melissa's new nose.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But
But Rosie looks great, and she's great. I love her.
And we also got to catch up a little because for each housewife, we got a little catch up from last season. They showed some scenes from last season. And with Kathy's catch up, they showed the really nasty comment that she made during the reunion, which she called Teresa's father a coward. And she actually admitted, you know, all right, that was out of line, whatever. Do you think it's a little too late for that apology? Like, do you think it should have come a lot sooner?
Maybe, I mean, maybe she has apologized,
Yeah,
and maybe
that's-
she's just kind of like reiterating how sorry she is on television. But the flies on your hair.
Oh, is it?
But no, I think the reunion show was disgusting. It was a 3-part reunion show. We covered every single one of them. We had
Yeah.
so many comments. We had callers. We had opinions. We were getting bashed left and right. I mean, it was chaotic. It was stressful, you know. And we were just recapping it, you know. But you know, it's sometimes you need to like take a step back to realize how you felt, what you said, why you said it, and take accountability for it. And they're cousins, and it doesn't, justify why you say certain things, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think she genuinely is sorry because that was kind of out of Kathy's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it was.
It really was.
But can we talk about plastic surgery?
Okay,
because
let's.
Kathy
Okay.
got a whole thing too.
Well, yeah, she had her surgery
for the reunion.
For the reunion,
last
and she
season.
acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Well, with Kathy, I just want to say one quick thing. I have to say, with Kathy is like legit classy person. Like she will admit when she's wrong. She was pushed, I think, to a point where she just said something stupid, but she's a classy enough person to turn around and say that, you know, although Teresa, you were, you know, a biatch to me and did this and did this. At the end of the day, I'm sorry for what I did. Like what I did wasn't right. And I love Kathy. I just think out of all these women, she brings like a freshness or just a kind of like a breath of fresh air in some ways.
I don't know.
I do.
I think she's more of a jump on the bandwagon pushover because it's like make up your mind, choose a side.
I think she's in the middle of what you two both said. I don't see her as this like strong, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in, but I think she kind of plays the fence a little bit sometimes when it comes to, you know, situations, and sometimes she plays it for whatever's going to suit her and her family best, you know? Because remember last season, like, she's cousins with Teresa, yet like a lot of the stuff that was happening was with Caroline, was the Manzo. So it's just like, well, I mean, this is your blood. Even outside of this show, you guys are related. You're family, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Kind of in the middle for me. I do like that.
This is first episode, new season. We really got to kind of let this play out and kind of assess these ladies maybe halfway into it. Because I don't know. Right now, it's just still kind of fresh, and I don't know what's really going on. I mean, I know the previews look super juicy, and I can't wait to get into it. But
let me ask you guys something. Do you think, like, starting a new season, do you think you're able to, like, have a clean slate with each woman? So if you had any, like, you know, preconceived ideas or notions, or I didn't like somebody this season, but, like, do you feel like with a new season you could be like, okay, I'm going to give Teresa a shot, you know, and see how she's different with things?
I think I think you can always start with a clean slate if you own up to the bullshit that you put out there.
Right.
Because it's not like we remember every single little thing that each one of these housewives done, and we kind of hope as viewers that they do start off with a clean slate. Yeah, you know. But I think that a new episode, a new season should be a reason to start clean. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. What were you saying, Erika?
I think it's no.
You just want them to fight.
You know, I agree with you. In some ways, in that as a viewer, you do want them to work things out. You do want, in some ways, Teresa to like redeem herself, or at least, I don't know, start thinking a little bit differently or looking outside a little bit. Same thing like with Melissa. Like, you want things to work out, but it is hard to forget everything they've done at the last 5 seasons. As a like genuine fan of the show and someone who really follows it and watches it, past behavior is usually indicative of what's going to happen in the future. And you can't, just like any person relationship you have in your own life, you can't forget things that happened in the past. True. So, you know, granted it's a new season, but they've been living their life and doing their thing forever. They're not new people.
Living their lives on display.
On display.
Perfect
on display.
segue for our friend Melissa. So, looks like she's got some work done. A new nose, a new chin. I know that there were some rumors out there in the tabloids. Gosh, I remember seeing that like a while back that she got anything done. But what do you think the verdict is? Do you think she actually got something done?
I think she was better before.
I do too.
I don't like. What did her old nose even look like? I don't
think she had a little bun.
Refined. No, I thought it was a little. In some ways, because they showed like the reunion from before, and it almost looked like it was more refined. It was a little longer, but a little bit more refined. Now it looks like it's squished, like made smaller, but a little squished. Like she actually, I thought she looked younger and prettier before.
Yeah, I think she looked better
now
before.
She looks a little bit more like J-Lo-ish, kind of like that kind of look. Which I mean, she's still pretty, but I don't think she needed it.
She wanted the J-Lo look, you know?
Well, and even her makeup and her hair is like, and her style, it's always been a little bit like that, but she's definitely going more in that direction. Before she was a little more like Jersey glam. Now she's kind of looking like hip-hop glam.
Oh, okay. I can kind of. Well, with her I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about Melissa because I've heard from insiders on the show that she's truly like on TV, especially when you put her against Teresa.
She's truly a bitch.
Yes.
Wasn't that my whole take last season?
That was your whole take.
Theory?
You know what? I started off as being a fan of Teresa. Towards the end, I was like, she's a crazy bitch. But with Melissa, I've never, ever, ever given her. There's always something about Melissa. There's always something shady about her. And I mean,
well,
right now I'm still starting this season, not completely a fan of Melissa.
Well, I think this little play date thing that they had, at the store making beads when she was trying to tell the kids to, no, it's 7 and then 1 and then 7.
Weird.
And it's red and then pink. Or,
yeah.
It's like, shut the hell up.
When I was just like, you're starting to reveal yourself a little more in different ways because even Teresa looked at her and was like, okay, can you just let them be kids? And I agree. Like, why do
are you going to go sell this? Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to, what's going on?
And then her making such a big deal about, the girls wanting to have a play date. Well, I want to take them out. Well, I don't want to go to your house. It's like, remember what's important. It's your children getting together. They haven't seen each other in a year and a half.
Yeah.
So
in this situation, it was Melissa making things difficult.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
So I feel like this bitchy side, I think, I don't know. My prediction is we might see a lot more of it this season from her.
And I think the problem is that both women, Teresa and Melissa, are probably so similar and so bitchy that it's just like, it's just one of those things. It's never going to get resolved because they both have just.
That's
those
fine. At
personality
least
types.
Teresa's bitchiness is out in the open. Melissa's is a little bit more undercover right now.
Yeah.
Well, she's new too. She's a couple seasons behind.
Well,
We haven't had as much time to get to know her as we have with Teresa.
this is true, but I feel like
The truth always comes out, honey. Whether
Yes.
it's one
It
season,
does.
2 season, or 5 seasons.
this is true. You're right about that. The truth comes out. But I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that her bitchiness has been undercover. And now I think we might be seeing
Will her
it.
bitchiness be on display now?
On display for like 5 seconds.
Now it's time to catch up with the Manzo crew. So first off, Lauren looks amazing. We already know that she lost, from last season, she lost about 20 pounds, but it looks like
She lost 20 pounds or she had surgery?
She has surgery.
Well, she had surgery and it made her lose weight.
Yes.
I mean, she lost weight.
Well, okay, I know we talked about
yes,
that.
we
I'm
did.
picking on her.
I know you are. But she looks
She
great.
looks amazing.
She's kept it off, and it looks like she's
for her.
even lost some more pounds.
It looks like she got extensions, her hair is longer, she got a little bit of a makeover.
You know what? I'm glad that she looks and acts a lot more confident than she did last season.
Yeah.
I know I came down hard because I was like, it wasn't like she was so overweight that she needed
lap band surgery.
lap band surgery.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that she copped out because it was like, it's not like, to me, I felt like, with the little diet and exercise and little determination, she could have gotten to that goal weight.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed in her, but seeing her this season, seeing her in this episode, she does seem a lot more confident. And I think with any woman, you should celebrate that. So, I'm going to start fresh with her.
Okay,
And
good.
she does look fabulous. So
Yeah, she looked really good.
Yeah.
We didn't see the Manzo boys this episode, but I thought, okay, so Caroline explained that her and Al are thinking about selling their home in Jersey because all the kids are gone. So they got an apartment in Hoboken.
Downsizing.
Yeah, they're downsizing. They got an apartment in Hoboken.
Well, that's still Jersey, but
But it is closer to her son. So do
Right.
you think it's really about her being closer to her boys or about them just kind of moving on with their lives?
I think it's a combination. I mean, I think it's convenient. It's it happens to be that's the city, where they're at.
the
So
city.
if they want to live in the city, that's where they're going to be. But I mean, you can't deny the fact that her sons live there, so I'm sure that's part of the appeal. I don't think that's the reason she moved, but I think that's the reason she moved there versus another city.
True.
But she addresses it and she goes, I didn't move to
did.
Hoboken because
Exactly.
of my boys. If you
Exactly.
didn't, then why are you bringing it up?
Exactly. Why not just get an apartment in Franklin Lakes or wherever it is they live, But whatever. All right. Can we talk about Caroline and Joe Gorga's lunch date?
Yeah, that's a random duo.
Yeah, it's like those two are getting really close. And even Joe mentioned something about how he really respects Caroline and, he seeks her advice and trusts her. And he doesn't even have that relationship with his own sister. Where do you think this is coming from?
See, I think Caroline's out to get Teresa. Like, I just think Caroline is that whole thing with the cookbook and talking about Caroline and the sons. Like, Caroline was just done with Teresa, and I just think she's just kind of out to get her.
Really? What do you think?
In a way, it's like, yes, it's Caroline's very nurturing, and she likes to kind of play mother hen.
Big
But
time.
at the same time, you can be like, mind your effing business at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And didn't Melissa make a comment like, why are you
She did.
Why are you meeting Caroline? Like, tell her to mind her own business.
She
It's
did.
like, so you can look at it as in a way like, yes, Caroline maybe just, she has 3 kids, and her kids are older, and she's just kind of like likes playing like mama hen. But at the same time, it's kind of like, why don't you go vacuum or do something else?
Well, it's like, does she have an ulterior motive? Like, that's what I was
that's
getting
what
at.
she's
yeah,
saying.
I think she does. Yeah.
Well, and also it keeps her relevant. I mean, the main drama of the show is between Teresa's family and, Melissa and Joe. So it keeps her relevant. Otherwise, really, Caroline, what's that interesting about what's going on? I mean, maybe things will happen or develop, but like her kids are all grown up. There's not really anything that interesting anymore. So it keeps her as part of the storyline, and eventually will keep her within the drama.
Yeah.
And I think part of it too, like I said too, is like, I think she's out to get Teresa. So this is a way for her to kind of, I don't know if it's like she wants to get at her in any specific way, but this is kind of her way for her to stay in there and kind of.
No, I get it. Like, maybe having the conversation with Joe Gorga is normal because they're friends, and and she genuinely cares about him. But to be like, okay, because you asked me to, I will go talk to Teresa for you. That to me is kind of like, why? Yeah. And she's like, your sister will probably tell me to F off, but I'm willing to do that for you. It's, at that point, if you're going to meet up and have coffee and you're going to discuss something, the best thing you can do is, you can't rescue him. You just have to, you can't enable him. You have to give him advice like, you know what, as hard as this is, and I would love to, if you genuinely ask me to, I will talk to her, but this is your battle. Yeah. And your sister and you have to learn to settle things he's right here. Oh. Like, and so I think maybe that's the approach she should have taken instead of, okay, let me volunteer and let me go talk.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's coming from a place of like genuinely wanting the two of them to work it out. Because you're right, if she did, she wouldn't be trying to meddle and stir the pot even more.
Yeah, I don't feel like she needs to get involved with this.
I don't think so either.
I don't,
It's none of her
especially
business.
considering what happened last season and where she is with her relationship with Teresa. I think she needs to kind of
back off,
keep her nose out of it. But you're right, Erika. I think it does keep her relevant, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of storyline the Manzos have this season. Because
I think she's also pissed off about the whole thing with Dina. Dina and Teresa.
Yeah.
So there's something going on there, and we don't really get the full story there. So there's something with Caroline and Teresa, and that's why Caroline's still putting herself in there.
Dina would come back.
I know, too.
Because there's so many things that we don't know, especially with their relationship between the two sisters. I wish she would come back, and I wish we could, just really understand like what went down.
What happened?
Yeah.
But the fact is, it does seem, and I even like Teresa mentions this during the reunion, but it does seem ironic to me that like that Caroline is sitting there saying, you guys need to get along, but you have a sibling that you're not talking to, regardless if it's Caroline's fault or Dina's fault or no one's fault.
Yeah, she's in the same situation
that you don't talk to. That's a big deal. So
tell us how you really feel about Caroline.
Well, I mean,
do like Caroline, but
in a sense, it does make her a hypocrite. Just because what you just said, she's in the same situation with her family member. Yeah. They're not talking.
Well, remember last season we saw a different Caroline. Like that was like we were all about Team Caroline, and then last season it was like, who the hell are you? She kind of like flipped the
switch.
Yeah, totally.
She did.
She really did.
And I think there's stuff going on behind the scenes with Dina
that we just don't know.
That we don't know, and the fact that Dina and Teresa are friends, and that weird scene of Dina going to that party, it's weird and awkward. And
we need some inside juice. Somebody share with us, please, please, please.
We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. We're good. It just started.
One thing I wanted to talk about was the dueling communions. So Antonia and Melania, they're both
Gabriella.
Gabriella. Gosh, all those U's. It's hard to get them fixed. But the dueling communions. So,
in true Teresa fashion.
Yeah, well, one of us is going to have to change the date.
I guess I will, because I'm the bigger person.
Yeah, I mean.
But it was kind of like crickets. So you know what? Teresa was like, all right, bitch, I guess I'll do it, because I'm the bigger person.
And it was like Melissa going like looking at Teresa like,
And maybe,
mine's May 11th too. What are you gonna do?
And maybe
communion's May 11th.
Exactly.
Mine
maybe it was editing. Maybe
I
it was
think it
editing.
was.
But Melissa seemed super icy.
She did.
Super icy. It was kind of like,
Like burr.
Do you know why I think it was editing? Because Teresa had made that comment earlier in the episode saying something about, oh, I'll be the better person. And then we heard the same exact phrase. So it
but
makes
whether
me think,
it's editing or not, it's just like, how's my brother? Oh, everyone's great. Everyone's fine.
yeah.
It's like, all right, thanks.
Oh,
There's
gosh.
it's crazy when you watch that scene. There's so much underlying tension,
Yeah.
and there's so much things going on in the background. I always wonder when I'm watching this, like what happened right before they were filming, and then what happened after they were filming. I mean, there's so much going on,
I know.
and so
Look
much.
at your face.
So, there's like underlying context of every single word that's said, and you're like, what is really going on?
I know. Well,
Is this all fake? And are they like really great actors, or is like
no,
and I don't think
no,
that's it either. I agree.
no.
But I'm saying like, but then the fact that this is real is what makes it so fascinating.
And that's why I love
That's
this
what's crazy
franchise
about
so
it.
much, because all this drama, it's real because they're family. You can't
Yes.
fake this. They're not just like random women that were just brought together to tape the show.
No,
These
like real
women
world.
are all family. They all
Yeah.
have a connection to each other.
It's
so that's why
so
all this
deep.
stuff is
that
just
history, the hurt, like it just runs so deep. That's why, like you see Joe, and at the drop of a hat, he starts crying. It's at the surface. It's
better
so
than a
raw.
Danielle Steele novel.
Oh.
It is just off
This
the
is like this is one
chain.
of the best shows on TV.
Well, we're going to end on that note. We are so excited for this season. And like I said, we just want to remind you guys to make sure you download the show for free on iTunes. And Cereal Buddies cost $5.99. And make sure you rate us a 5.555. And, we want to hear your comments. And I think we're time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Reporting live from the AfterBuzz studios. I always wanted to do that.
Love it.
So this recent report, Joe Giudice is set to go to court on July 15th.
This guy is always in
he is
court.
always doing something wrong. Now this is because remember he
the license.
the fake license. He's got so many things like a rap sheet, as they say. He is
dumbass.
just send him to jail, lock him up, throw away the key. But he's set to go to court on July 15th. Kathy Wakili, this is on Huffington Post actually. She's shutting down rumors that her and her husband, there's issues in their marriage and they might be getting a divorce. Because as we all know, there's a lot of divorces in the Housewives franchise.
What about the rumor about Caroline and Albert? That he's actually cheated on her in the past.
Ooh.
But she decided to forgive him. It was a long time ago or something.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
that's
we'll talk about that next
Yeah,
week.
we will get to that next week. And then we already talked about Melissa's plastic surgery. This fly in the studio is driving me nuts.
It's our mascot.
I know, right? Let's just
AfterBuzz.
I know, right? That was corny as hell. And the last bit of news and gossip I have is that so last season, remember, basically there was a brawl at Kim D's boutique. Remember Kim D, who likes to stir up
How can we
everything?
not remember
Kim Double D.
Apparently, Chris Larita and Joe Gorga, they got into a fight with some man who was at the event, and apparently, they might be charged with assault. So, some bloody brawl, and of course, Kim D was a part of it, which is, she's always attached to some kind of drama.
always.
And she loves it. She
Loves it. So that's it for news and gossip. Let's talk about predictions for the season.
Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Predictions.
Gia has a boyfriend, or Gia likes a boy.
That's so cute.
That's so cute.
Well, it's the beginning of the
kinda
season,
scary,
so what do you guys think is in store for this season? Just go around the room. What do you think, Susan?
I see a little bit of, we see Caroline mentioning, maybe, I don't know the new Melissa, so maybe the real Melissa will be
Please
revealed.
stand up.
Yeah, please
Yes.
stand up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the whole Teresa Melissa drama will finally come to an end. Who knows? Because they do that whole Oprah thing, when
Oh,
Oprah
yeah.
took them to
I'll
that.
meet you in the middle and you catch me and I
Yeah.
catch you. Yes.
But I mean, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And We see Richie's son taking out the Lambo, the Ferrari.
I know.
With Rosie.
Driving with Rosie.
Love that.
Yeah. What do you think, Erika?
I think this season is just going to get deeper and deeper into this fight between the two.
Yeah.
The two meaning
Teresa and Melissa, the two
Yeah.
families. I see it going up, going down, going up, going down.
Well,
the
speaking
same
of-
way it's been like the last seasons. They reconcile, they don't, and I just see it. Honestly, I see the highs being higher, and I see the ugliness being uglier.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what makes this show so interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of up and down, was it Melania or G on the poll saying, "Look, I'm
Melissa on the pole." That was fudged up.
It's interesting because even like Melissa says, like she doesn't. I mean, supposedly according to Melissa, like she doesn't like to talk to her kids about that and doesn't talk. And it seems like she doesn't like
That's
talk bad about Teresa, but it's apparent that on the other side, like Teresa,
they talk about her,
talking crap about him all the time, which is so wrong.
Yeah,
it's so wrong to drag him into that.
Yeah. They've been doing that since last season.
Oh, I know. They've been doing it forever. Like Horsey Face and like that. Yeah, and look at Melissa on the pole, like
in front of everybody.
Okay, but what did we leave off last season? Do we think that Melissa was a stripper? Do we care? That's a different question. But do we think that she was a stripper?
Yes, I do. From last season, I think she was a stripper for sure. I think she's tried to hide it and bury it, but it reared its ugly hair.
Why do you think she was a stripper? Like, what makes you?
Why do we think she was a stripper?
Yeah, like what makes you say?
Because.
I mean,
first of all, supposedly it was the way that she met Joe, that he went to a strip club and that's how they met. Second of all, it kept coming up over and over that she worked at a gentleman's club. Now, she said that she was a cocktail waitress, but...
So you think she was genuinely a stripper?
Absolutely. But at this point, we even talked about it last season. Who cares?
Who cares?
She's a mother of 3 now. You know, why are we even talking about what she did 15 years ago before she was even married? Like,
what was that comment that Joe Gorga made? Like, every time my parents come over, they look at you like you're the devil. Are they talking? He was speaking to Melissa,
today,
right?
right?
Well, we're not sure who that comment was made towards, just because of the
editing.
But exactly, so we don't know who that comment was for. But I predict this season, I kind of agree with you. I think we're not going to see an end to the feud between Teresa and her brother. I think things are only going to get fiery between Melissa and Teresa. That whole scene that we saw them coming, the Oprah moment, I don't know how long it's going to last.
I think that they're going to work it out.
You do?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't.
You negative bitches.
They've spent the past year and a half like not even seeing each other.
Yeah, I just
Well,
I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
In any case, you guys need to
make up.
you guys need to tune in to our after show so you can hear more juicy predictions and recaps of Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're so happy to be back.
Yes.
And let's just go around the room really quickly. Where can we find everybody?
I'm your host, Erika Garcia Rojas, and you can find me on Twitter at Erika Garcia Roja.
I'm Susan Hahn, and you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and soundtracking at It's Susan Hahn.
And I'm Diona Vaughan, and right now I can only be found on Twitter because I don't know about those other fancy forms of social media. You can find me on Twitter at GoToGirlTV.
Woohoo.
Yay! Thanks.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.